Hello there, it's Dominic from Custard Games, and today I'm doing a bit of a behind-the-scenes video for the game I'm working on called Sudokil. So I'll be releasing a demo/prototype for it this week, and in the meantime I thought I'd do a behind-the-scenes video to show you what I'm working on in order to get the game up and running for the prototype. So one of the biggest complaints I've had for the game is that it's really difficult just because people don't know what the controls are, and I never explained it to them. So unless I'm sitting there with them, it's not very easy for them to pick up how to play the game. So if you haven't seen the game before, it's kind of like a scripting game in the terminal. Let's just go ahead and start the game running here. So it's all about typing commands in a Unix type terminal, and most people don't know how to type Unix commands. So what I've been working on so hard right now to do is to create this kind of tutorial screen here, and I can minimize it, bring it back up, that's all okay. So Rob here, good old Rob, is telling me to go ahead and open a terminal window. So as I follow his instructions, he's going to give me new instructions, tell me new things, like he's telling me type ls now. So if I type ls, he's like, hey look, we can see a folder called camera. So he wants me to change directory CD into the camera. And this tutorial system's kind of just teaching people how to use the Unix terminal before we, launch a puzzle at them. So let's go ahead and listen to what he says, and then he wants us to run start. So there we have it. There's a lot of different triggers and different results for this tutorial system. So here, before he was reading our input for the terminal console screen, but now he wants us to move the map around, and you can see he's recognized that we have moved the map. Alright, now he wants us to cd ... And if you remember before, we only had the camera in the directory. Now he's gone ahead and removed robot 1 in there for us. So yeah, this is as far as I've gotten with the tutorial, unfortunately. But eventually, what I wanted to do is get the robot to move into a trigger area, and it'll start launching up the next tutorial level. So that's pretty much where I'm at with the game right now. And from now till tomorrow or Wednesday, hopefully I can finish the game by tomorrow, but really right now it's looking like it's going to finish on Wednesday. So yeah, right now, from now to Wednesday, I've done all my maps. I just haven't done the triggers for it for the tutorial. So that's what I'm working on right now. I can actually, I'm going to show you how the background of this game works, how I load it in. So I have one hard-coded, level data thing. So I'm saying, okay, maps, campaign, tutorial level 1, level data.json. So if you go in here, you can see it's loading up this file, and I've actually got it up right here. So in this file, first of all, it gives a map location. So it gives off the TMX map, which is just, here we go. I'm using the tiled editor. So yeah, this is just it's got no robot in there, no camera, no nothing. So that's all it's showing you there. So it loads that into the game first of all. And then with the Artemis entity component system, it starts to load in these. So first thing I say, hey, load up robots. And there you can see I've got one entity with different components. So the way this works is all my entities are not actually a Java class or object. They're made up of many different components. So there's no robot component. There's no robot object, but in the JSON, I just construct it out of, entity components, position components. Like, for example, text tag component, that makes it render the tag on top of it. And all of my code just says, hey, if he has this component, do this. If he has this component, do this. If he has both of these components, do that. It's like with the render system, if you have a sprite component, it'll draw an icon. If you have a sprite and a position component, then it'll draw the image on your X and Y location with the width and height of your position components. That's how entity component systems kind of work in a nutshell. If we go back here, next I say load entities.json, which is just some of the camera information. Then we go ahead and load up triggers. So this is what is interesting for me right now as I've been working on this. So these comments here are just what I've been planning out, but each trigger is actually all of that. So it's, I'm telling it your trigger entity component, what your condition is. So this one's condition is that it's just like a timing condition and just comes through straight away. But on some of the other ones, you can see, for example, like with this one here, this means sorry, what am I saying? So when terminal's open, it launches trigger 1, and trigger 1 is going to launch all of these triggers, and these triggers. So once trigger 1 is launched, it goes to the right to time, or in this case, list directory. So this one waits for a list directory event before running the you have conditions and results. So the condition is a list directory event, and the result is that it sets off trigger 2, and trigger 2 then sets off all of these. So yeah, that's how it works. So in order to finish the game for the prototype, the only things that I've really got left to do is to do the rest of these triggers for this level, and then do the rest of the levels that I want for the tutorial. So let's go back to level data, and this time we have the file system, so the Unix command system, where I'm typing lssh. So this is what the user starts off with. So we have a folder called camera, and inside camera we have scripts and all that. And if you notice, it started off with just camera, and later on I added robot1 to the user, and that's because I have a file system in here called stash.json. So if we go to stash.json, you can see this is where I have the robot1 kind of file system located. And you ask so how do you add it to the players one? I actually have a trigger for this. So if we look for it here, there it is. So if you get this trigger thing entity, it gets trigger 7. The condition is that you've changed directory, and what it's going to do is it's going to find the source file system for the thing we're moving, which is stash. Then it's going to find the target file system, which is our file system called file system. Then it's going to find the item of what you want and where you want it pasted. So yeah, it's so cool that the entire level is made up of JSON data. It's not hard coded into the game. It's really exciting. I've not done this before, to this extent at least. And in the end, I've ended up with a bunch of classes though. We have a lot of different components, a lot of different events, and that's how this works so far. But yeah, do stay tuned. In the next few days, I'll be releasing another video when I finish my prototype, and I'll put it up online. So I do ask that, when I do that, download the game, try it out, and give me some feedback, because at this stage, I want to make all my design decisions, and if I'm doing something badly or wrong, just let me know, and then I can maybe do it better for the next version. So yeah, I guess let's call this Alpha 1 demo. There we go, Alpha 1 demo. So yeah, I guess if you want to kind of keep getting more news from me, you can go to my Twitter page. As you can see, I kind of do post semi-regularly when I'm developing the game. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.